Caitlin Clark just detonated the internet without even touching a basketball. And nobody, absolutely nobody, saw this curveball coming. Because while the WNBA world keeps debating contracts, CBA drama, and off-season chaos, Caitlin was out there doing something totally different, something bigger, something that just sent shockwaves through sports media, celebrity golf, and even the Barstool universe. And here's the twist. She wasn't alone. She wasn't just smiling for cameras, and this wasn't some casual postseason hobby.
Reporters, let's talk about Caitlin Clark. Not a ton of Caitlin Clark content out there, folks. To be quite honest with you, it's mostly things around the CBA and potential other professional basketball leagues. That's really where the content is right now, because there just hadn't been a lot. And what there has been has to do with golf. Well, we're right here again. Caitlin Clark and golf. So, Caitlin Clark played in the Annika.
Caitlin Clark, the most talked about athlete in women's basketball, has now accepted Dave Portnoy's invite to one of the most viral golf events on the planet. The same event pulling 20, 25, even 30 million views in a single stretch. The same event that companies would pay stupid amounts of money to be part of. And the same event that, until recently, Caitlin wasn't even publicly tied to. But she said yes. And when Caitlin Clark says yes, sponsors wake up. Sports media explodes. Golf fans lose their minds.
I mean, I went and looked at the views on these things. I'm like, are you shitting me? Not just a few. We're talking 20 million views and a lot of views. So definitely, I mean, serious to get publicity, get your name out, yada, yada, yada. As if Caitlin Clark needs that. But it sounds like, as of right now, she took Dave Portnoy up on his offer to play in that tournament next year. Kaya Trump said yes too. He invited both of them.
And the WNBA, it gets dragged deeper into a spotlight it wasn't prepared for, again. And trust me, that's only the beginning. Because alongside her, Kaya Trump. Yes, that Trump. The same name that triggered half the internet the last time it appeared in a Caitlin headline. They both told Portnoy, "I'm in," and the ripple effect is already insane. But there's another wild card, another name heating up this story, Sophie Cunningham.
And we know Dave doesn't care who he pisses off, seriously. And we've also got something on Sophie, Lexi, and Caitlin teaming up again, because Sophie's got a bit of a golf bug too. And I noticed this when we were playing the videos from that appearance where she was a caddy. She had a pretty good golf swing. And she said, I never play. I don't play. And I'm like, that swing's actually not terrible. So I thought that was kind of interesting. We'll get to that in a second. Portnoy.
Yep, the caddy with the perfect swing she claimed she didn't even have. The Fever teammate who just revealed she's taking golf seriously and might join Caitlin and Lexi Hull for even more off-season chaos. This isn't just golf. This isn't just content. This is a multi-million view monster forming, and Caitlin Clark is right at the center of it. Welcome back to Her Hoops, where we break down the drama the mainstream won't touch. Let's dive in.
So is this more like every other year, let it grow? I heard a great...
No, every year.
Yeah, you invited Caitlin Clark, right? Are you already putting a
every
crew together?
year, huh?
Every year. I'd like to, I don't know what'll get there. I'd like to do a 10 million pool next year. See, I think it's going to be a lot easier to get money, sponsors, all this stuff. We proved it. Year two, you really prove it, and then you got something. I've invited 2 people so far. They both said yes. I don't know how serious the yeses are. Caitlin said yes. Kaya Trump said yes. Those are my 2 that I've asked. Whether...
Before Caitlin Clark ever swung a club in front of a national audience, before Dave Portnoy ever said her name on camera, before Sophie Cunningham ever joked about not even playing golf while swinging like a low handicapper, this entire storyline was quietly building beneath the surface. Because the truth is, Caitlin Clark's rise didn't just transform the WNBA, it rewired every single corner of sports media.
Sophie Cunningham shares decision away from WNBA with Caitlin Clark. I hate some of these titles. I really do. So, right here. Sophie Cunningham recently made waves away from the basketball court with Indiana Fever teammate Caitlin Clark. Cunningham, whose first year with the Fever ended prematurely due to a season-ending injury, took part in a pro-am that preceded the Annika, driven by Gamebridge at Pelican Golf Club November 12th.
When she appeared at the Annika Pro-Am, fans noticed something. Caitlin wasn't treating golf like a charity cameo. She was locked in, competitive, focused, almost dialed in like she was back in the NCAA tournament. And that got Dave Portnoy's attention immediately. Portnoy, a guy who loves chaos, loves competition, and loves picking athletes who can pull views, knew exactly what he was looking at. His Internet Invitational, already a viral phenomenon with Bob Does Sports, was exploding. Their videos were pulling numbers that rivaled ESPN broadcasts. 20 million, 25 million, sometimes even more. He needed a headliner for next year. He wanted a needle mover. And Caitlin Clark? She's the needle. Even crazier, Kaya Trump was also in that same Pro-Am environment. And her mere presence triggered an absurd amount of outrage across the internet last time a sports writer dragged her name into a Caitlin Clark debate. That one article lit social media on fire. So naturally, when Portnoy invited both of them, he knew exactly what kind of buzz it would create. But while the internet was arguing politics and pearl-clutching over last names, something else was happening behind the scenes. Sophie Cunningham was quietly entering the chat. The moment fans saw Sophie caddying for Caitlin and Lexi Hull, and then caught a glimpse of her golf swing, it was over. The comments flooded in. She doesn't play? Stop lying. That's a natural swing. Sophie, get on a course today. She noticed the reaction. She felt the buzz. And she admitted on her podcast, I think I have some potential in my golf game. This is where the story shifts. Because now multiple Fever players are drifting toward a new off-season identity, and it's all orbiting around Caitlin Clark. So let's break down exactly how all of this collided into one massive, unpredictable storyline. Because the pieces didn't come together by accident. First, Caitlin Clark's golf ability is not a joke. People thought she'd show up, swing for fun, smile for photos, and keep it cute. Nope. Caitlin came in with tempo, balance, and a swing that screamed, I take this seriously. That instantly changed how golf creators, influencers, and event organizers saw her. She wasn't a prop, she was a competitor. Second, Dave Portnoy understands viral potential better than anyone. He saw the Annika Pro-Am clips. He saw Caitlin's swing. He saw the numbers she pulls every single time her name hits a thumbnail, from sports to culture to politics. And Portnoy doesn't move unless he sees two things: massive views, massive chaos. Caitlin gives him both. That's why he went on camera and openly said it. I invited Caitlin Clark and Kaya Trump, and they both said yes. Portnoy knows that putting the biggest name in women's sports in his invitational elevates it instantly. Sponsors line up. Media outlets chase quotes. The event goes from a niche YouTube tradition to a multi-million-view spectacle before the first swing is even recorded. And if his $10 million prize pool hits, it'll become the biggest viral golf event in internet history. Third, Sophie Cunningham's emergence changes the energy completely. She wasn't even supposed to play. She was caddying. But when fans saw her mechanics, the internet started treating her like a secret golfer who'd been hiding her game. Suddenly, she's on her podcast, on Show Me Something, talking about getting serious, playing weekly, and joining Caitlin and Lexi for off-season rounds. That trio, Caitlin, Sophie, Lexi, forms a content goldmine. 3 fan favorites, 3 personalities, 3 competitive athletes, all bonding over a sport nobody expected to unite them. Finally, this isn't just golf, this is branding. Caitlin Clark stepping into viral golf culture signals her influence extends far beyond basketball. Sophie taking up the game signals she's watching Caitlin's blueprint. And Portnoy? He's positioning himself right in the center of it all. This is the moment everything begins shifting. Here's where everything stops being fun, casual, and harmless, and starts turning into full-blown tension, contradictions, and pressure that nobody in the WNBA ecosystem was prepared to navigate. Because the moment Caitlin Clark said yes to Dave Portnoy, everything around her suddenly became louder. You could feel it instantly. The golf world loved it. The viral content world loved it. Barstool fans loved it, but the traditional WNBA crowd, the league loyalists, the ultra-online critics, they were confused, then annoyed, then threatened. Why? Because Caitlin Clark stepping into Portnoy's Internet Invitational exposes a reality the WNBA has tried to gloss over for years. Caitlin moves numbers. Caitlin moves culture. Caitlin moves attention that the league itself cannot manufacture. Portnoy bragging about a potential $10 million prize pool only made it worse. Think about it. The guy can raise a purse that rivals, or even dwarfs, certain WNBA financial structures, and it's for a golf YouTube event. That contradiction is too big for critics to ignore. And then, Kaya Trump enters the picture. Not because she's golfing, but because her last name sends the internet into meltdown mode every single time it appears near Caitlyn's. You already saw it. One journalist wrote a hit piece tying Caitlyn to Kaya Trump, and people lost their minds. Suddenly you had political arguments, culture war nonsense, rage in the comments, articles attacking each other, people projecting everything onto Caitlyn's shoulders. All because of one last name in one headline. So imagine the storm when they both show up at a Dave Portnoy event. Yeah, the escalation writes itself. And meanwhile, while fans fight, while media stirs drama, while critics foam at the mouth, Sophie Cunningham is out here creating a completely different type of tension. Because Sophie isn't just joking about golf anymore. She's not just riding momentum. She's making decisions. Podcast decisions, free agency decisions, brand building decisions. And the more she gravitates toward Caitlyn and Lexi, the more it looks like the Fever are becoming the WNBA's newest off-season media powerhouse, without the WNBA's help. These three playing golf isn't just cute. It threatens the league's carefully controlled narrative machine. It spotlights personalities the league didn't shape. And it pushes Caitlyn even deeper into star territory the WNBA can't dictate. This is where the pressure starts cracking the walls. Now let's dig deeper into the why behind all this. Because none of these moves are random. None of these headlines are coincidences. Every shift in this storyline is rooted in something bigger, something strategic, something that reveals exactly where Caitlin Clark and the players orbiting her are heading next. Let's start with Caitlyn's golf ability, because this is the quiet detail people keep underestimating. Golf isn't just a hobby for her, it's a competitive outlet. It's a mental reset. And more importantly, it's a sport where her precision, discipline, and mechanics translate beautifully. The swing she showcased at the Annika Pro-Am wasn't fluky. It wasn't a lucky shot. It was the product of an athlete with elite body control, rhythm, and hand-eye coordination. Golf fits Caitlyn's personality. Focused, analytical, calm under pressure. It's not surprising she took Portnoy's challenge seriously. Then you look at Dave Portnoy's play here. People think he invited Caitlyn because she's famous. No, he invited her because she brings mainstream attention, women's sports crossover appeal, celebrity energy, controversy potential, guaranteed viral clips, sponsor magnetism. Portnoy isn't a fool. He knows Caitlyn is a content engine. And if she shows up, his Invitational becomes the Super Bowl of YouTube golf. He wants this event to scale into a cultural phenomenon, a recurring viral monster with tens of millions of views. Caitlyn is the catalyst he needs. Now let's shift to Sophie Cunningham, because her storyline is evolving fast. What people don't realize is that Sophie is entering a crucial off-season. Her free agency looms. Her brand is growing. Her podcast, Show Me Something, is gaining traction. And she just discovered something that could fundamentally change her off-season identity. She might actually be good at golf. Not decent, not passable. Good. Her caddy appearance exposed a swing people would pay money to have. And she's self-aware enough to know the WNBA off-season is long. Too long. And golf might become both a hobby and a career tool. She admitted she's going to start practicing weekly. She even openly said she plans to play with Caitlyn and Lexi, forming what could become the most entertaining off-season trio in women's sports. All three players together on a course? That's not golf. That's a brand. That's a media ecosystem. That's her hoops gold. And the league can't control any of it. Here's where everything turns from a fun off-season storyline into a league-wide wake-up call. Because Caitlin Clark accepting Dave Portnoy's invite isn't just a viral moment. It's a signal, a flashing red warning light about where the power in women's sports is shifting. And it isn't shifting toward the WNBA. It's shifting toward players, personality-driven media, and independent platforms like viral golf networks, podcasts, and influencer-backed events. Let's start with Caitlin. Every time she touches a non-WNBA space, golf events, late-night shows, college football sidelines, viral content collabs, the numbers explode. And those numbers don't belong to any league. They don't belong to a commissioner. They don't belong to a team. They belong to her brand, her magnetism, her ability to bring new audiences wherever she goes. When Portnoy mentions a potential $10 million prize pool, the message becomes even clearer. The digital sports economy can outpace traditional leagues, fast. And if an online golf event can pull 20 to 25 million views in a month, if sponsors are willing to stack millions just because Caitlin Clark might show up, that puts massive pressure on the WNBA's current structure. Now enter Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull, two players who suddenly find their relevance expanding because they're next to Caitlin during this pivot. Their golf appearances, their podcasts, their chemistry, all of it positions them as modern athletes who understand where attention flows. Not through league offices, but through personality-driven content ecosystems. That matters. A lot. Because for decades, the WNBA has wanted control over its stars, their narratives, their media appearances, their branding. But this new era? It's not controllable. It's player-powered, it's internet-powered, it's audience-powered. And here's the twist. This golf storyline is doing something the league has struggled to do for years, giving players a space to show personality, humor, competitiveness, friendships, vulnerability, and identity outside the court. Fans love that. Numbers love that. Sponsors really love that. If Caitlin, Sophie, and Lexi turn their off-season into a full-blown viral content stream, rounds of golf, challenges, podcasts, behind the scenes, they could accidentally create an entirely new template for WNBA stardom. A template that doesn't require league approval. A template that doesn't need ESPN. A template that doesn't ask permission. A template built by her hoops and players who know their worth. At the end of the day, when you pull back and look at the entire picture, Caitlin Clark accepting Dave Portnoy's viral golf invite isn't just another off-season headline. It isn't just a fun surprise for fans or a random detour into celebrity golf. No, this moment represents something a lot bigger, a lot louder, and a lot more important for the future of women's sports. Because Caitlin Clark isn't just competing, she's expanding. She's stepping into spaces where the WNBA has never had a foothold. She's tapping into audiences that traditional sports media can't reach. She's shifting the power dynamic from league first to player first, and doing it with ease. Think about what this move really means. A YouTube golf event, not an ESPN special, not a WNBA showcase, not a league partnership, is about to become one of the most watched women's sports-adjacent events in the world because Caitlin Clark said yes. That's not normal. That's not expected. That's historic. Dave Portnoy knows it. Sponsors know it. Golf creators know it. Fans definitely know it. And the WNBA? They're watching, quietly, as the biggest star in their league builds influence outside their grasp. But Caitlin isn't alone in this shift, and that's what makes it even more powerful. Sophie Cunningham stepping into golf isn't a coincidence. It's a response. She sees where the momentum is. She sees where the attention is flowing. She sees how Caitlin's brand is expanding, and she's smart enough to build with it. Her podcast is rising. Her off-season presence is rising. Her fan support is rising. And Lexi Hull joining the trio adds another layer. Chemistry, friendship, a peek behind the curtain of what WNBA players are actually like away from the court. Fans eat that stuff up. Social media eats it up. The entire internet loves seeing athletes be human. This is what the WNBA has been missing: authenticity, realness, behind-the-scenes magic. And these three players, intentionally or not, are finally giving fans access to that. So what happens next? Well, if Caitlin Clark shows up to Portnoy's Invitational, if she brings Sophie and Lexi with her, if viral golf and WNBA personalities collide in one massive content ecosystem, you're looking at a cultural moment, something that breaks through the walls of women's sports, something that pulls millions of casual fans, something that proves once and for all that the future of athletic stardom belongs to the athletes, not the gatekeepers. Caitlin Clark didn't just accept an invite, she sparked a movement, a crossover, a new blueprint. And trust me, we're only witnessing the beginning. This is Her Hoops, and if you want more stories the mainstream won't touch, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We're just getting started.